I'm back with another list of amazing guitar intros that you can learn in just minutes. They're sure to turn heads, and I've got 9 of them all in the key of G, in G major. So I'm Steve, hope you're doing awesome today. Let's dive into these really quickly. They're fun. They cover the 60s all the way up through the late 80s. I think you'll know all of them, and people around you will be like, yep, I know that one. So it'll be a lot of fun. Hit like and hit subscribe, and let's go. All right, coming in at number 9, this is The Joker by the Steve Miller Band from 1973. Really sweet. You begin here in G major, of course, like all these, and you hit the low notes first. Get a little palm muting, a little pop right there. So you're doing the low part of the G right there on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and go to the open A, to the 2nd fret, to the 3rd fret right there, and now you're playing part of a C major chord, like that. Then the open D string, 2nd fret of the D string, and back off, like that. So all together so far. And after that, you go to the open A string again and walk it up from open to the 2nd fret, to the 3rd fret, and go 2nd fret of the A string, open A string, and you start over again at the G right there. After that one right there, you hit the open D string and go like this. Hammer it onto the 2nd fret, and then hit that open G string, and now you're ready to rock. C, D, C, G. At number 8, we've got Small Town by Cougar Mellencamp from 1985. Really sweet chord-based progression right here. Technically, he's using a capo a little bit higher up, but for all these, I'm just going to play them down in their natural position, but they're in a G major. So you go like this, G major, and you have the 3rd fret of both the E and the B strings right here. And you go to the D major, and whether you use this finger like I did or use a pinky, so you're adding on the pinky under the 3rd fret of that D major, and back off, like that. So, and now you go into a C major, but the C major is not a normal C major right there. It's got this fret right here on the 3rd fret of the E and the B strings again, with the low notes of the C major, right there, 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D string, like that, and back to D major. Do it again. See, when I use my pinky, then I get stuck. So that's why I use this finger. I just sort of plant it right there and go back and forth. Then it goes into an A minor, up to D, and G. At number 7, this is Closer to Fine from 1989 by the Indigo Girls. Really cool song to play on acoustic, especially when you use a capo a little bit higher up. So it uses that same G major with your fingers right here on the 3rd fret of the E and B strings right there, and you go low to high like this. Do an A minor, but because you leave these fingers right here on the 3rd fret of the E and the B, you're really using 1 or 2 fingers, really 1 finger if you can, to lay it flat on the 2nd fret of the D and G strings and hit that open A string. So it's like an A minor version, and then you go to a C major again, the same C major that we just did from Small Town, so check that out, C major, with those notes on the 3rd fret, and when you go to the D major, you go to D major, and you leave these fingers camped out on the 3rd fret right there, so you're doing these notes, and then you take that finger off to a regular D major, and now remove this finger and you hit the open E and back up to the regular D major. So, and if you go faster, it goes like this. All right, from 1981, this is Journey with Stone in Love. This one is also another straight up just rockin' chord progression, that same G that we've done in a couple of these lessons. Right here, right there on the 3rd fret of the E and the B, and you go palm muting to give it that rhythm, and hit G. But your finger, really, you got your finger already there in the G chord. You're really just emphasizing that A string on the 2nd fret, and back to straight up to a D major. And now again, whether you use your pinky or not, I lay this finger flat again on that 3rd fret of the E string, and then you go to that C chord again, like that. Walk this finger down to the 2nd fret, like that, and right back to the G. So listen to this. One more time with the bass notes. Ready? Listen to the bass. Right after that first one, I go like this, like that. So you're in the G major shape. You just put that, you already got this finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and you go to the 3rd fret, back that down to the 2nd fret, and then open A string, and then whether you use your thumb or use that finger, put on the 2nd fret of the E string, and back to the G major. Hit all the low notes. The key is really hit those high ones and just be ready to jam back on the G major. This is a beautiful one from 1988. It's the Laws with There She Goes. There she goes. You're beginning here with a G major, and you're only really plucking the high notes of it for just a second. So you start on the open G string, and then the E string, and then the B string on the 3rd fret. Like that. One more time. Now you take any finger, probably this finger, maybe your pinky, and put on the 5th fret. So you're hitting the E string, and then that B string again on the 3rd fret. And now you got to quickly get into sort of like the top 2 notes of a D major shape, like that. So 2nd fret right there of the E string, 3rd fret of the B string, and so then you hit the 3rd fret of that E string. So all together, listen. Like that. And now you go take this finger off, and you're hitting the open G string and the open E string, and leave this finger right here on the 3rd fret of the B string and go. One more time. So you're going E, B string, G string, and back up to the B string on the 3rd. Open E, back to the B, and open G string like that. So all together. Right after that last one, you go to a D major, G, D, C. There she goes throughout the rest of the way. All right, let's hit the low notes here with Blister in the Sun from 1983, coming in at number 4 from the Violent Femmes. Very cool. So you begin with the low part of the G chord right here, 3rd fret again of the E string. And because you already got a G chord playing, this finger should be on the 2nd fret of the A string. Like that. So you go E string, 2nd fret of the A, back down to that 3rd fret of the E string. Then you go to the 3rd fret of the A string, to the 2nd fret of the A string, and do it again. So after 2 of those, then you go like that. Really repeat it again, and that last one is 1 staccato note on the G. So all together. And pop your guitar. Double taps like that. Don't put a hole in it. Go like this. And after 1 or 2 of those, you can go, if you want to, walk down from the 3rd to the 2nd to the open A string and back to G. And then you do chords, G to C, using the same 3rd fret on the E and the B that we've talked about in a few of these other songs. Number 3, let's do Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is Don't Do Me Like That from 1979. Very sweet. We begin here in G major, of course, and I'm playing again those 3rd frets on the B and E strings and go that. So 1 little staccato hit and a couple palm muted picks, strums right there. And the last one should be a big strum out right there. Then I'm going to do an F major, C major, to D major. Like that. Same little rhythm throughout the whole thing. And whether you do it the first time around or second time around, you can do those little extra notes like this. Hitting the open D string and hammering on to that 2nd fret of the D, and then the open G string. Then you go to the F, does that same thing. Open D, hammer onto the 2nd fret and open G, and then you can do an E minor, but that's the chorus. That's not part of the intro that we're doing here. All right, for number 2, let's go back to the song I showed off at the beginning of this entire video, You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC from 1980. We begin here with the high notes of a G chord, and again, the 3rd fret of the B and E. So I'm hitting the open D, open G, and those 3rd frets, B and E, and give it 1 strum, and then hit that D string 4 times like that. D string 4 times. And just like There She Goes, you take any finger you want, put on the 5th fret of the E string. You can hit all the strings if you want to, and back to the 3rd fret. So, and after that, you take this finger, hit the 3rd fret of the E string, slide it down 1 fret to the 2nd fret, and then you get into a D major shape. And you can play a whole D major like that if you want to, or just get into the low notes of it. Really, you want to hit the open D string, 2nd fret of the G, and 3rd fret of the B string. That's part of the D major, like that. So let me show you the transition, then I'll take you to the next part. Right after that part, you quickly lift this finger up and only hit these 2 strings, which are the D and G strings, and go. Try that. So the open D and 2nd fret of the G strings. 3rd fret, you put this finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, quickly hammer it onto the 4th, while also hitting that note of the G string. Like that. And then open once again. So together. And then this one's a little bit slower, like this, like that. So you go to the 3rd fret again, hammer onto the 4th fret, and then hit that 2nd fret of the G string, and hit the open D again. So all together. One more time. Then you go back into the G. Give it one strum out on the D chord. G, C, G, C, G, D. G, D, G, D, G. All right, and at number 1, it's everybody's favorite. Brown-Eyed Girl by Van Morrison from 1967. I'm sort of kidding, it's not my favorite, but it is a classic. You can play it also down here in this area of the G. Right here. Or you can play the high note. I'll show you that in just a second. I don't have a cutaway acoustic, but that's how you do it. So let's begin here in G. And that's the chord structure here, but the famous notes go like this. Open, G, and B strings, like that. And then you put your first finger on the B string, 1st fret, and then the G string, 2nd fret. So these notes, like that. Slide it up 2 frets, back down 2 frets, and then open again. So together, that's the easiest way to play it. I'll show you the high part in just a second. After that, you put your first finger on the first fret of the B string, and then hit the open E string, and go like this. Right there is the 1st fret of the E string, and 3rd fret of the B string. Slide it up 2 frets again, back down 2 frets, and back down into the original position, which is the open E and the 1st fret of the B string. And then you go back here, same thing we just did a second ago, open G and B. That same thing we did, and then go to a D major. And if you want to do it correctly, it'd go 4th fret of the D string to the open G, 2nd fret of that G string. And then you're into the chords. So I'll do it all together slowly and then quickly. That was actually pretty fast. Let me slow it down. Hey, well, amigo. And now you're ready to rock. Faster? Oh, man. Pretty cool. Now let's do the high part. It's really the same exact kind of notes, but this time you don't have any open strings. So take this finger, 2nd finger, and put it on the 8th fret of the B string, and 1st finger on the 7th fret of the E string. So now you're going to go 1 fret up on that E string to the 8th fret, and take this finger and put it on the 10th fret of the B string. Slide it up 2 frets, back down 2 frets, and back to the original starting position, right there on the 7th of the E and 8th of the B string. So, and now what's cool about this is once you've learned that, just slide it up to the 12th fret, 1st finger on the 12th fret, this one right here, and do it again. Like that. I have to work at it without a cutaway here. It's the same exact thing. You just take everything you did there and move it up. Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. Everything moves up 5 frets. And then after the last one, it goes like that. So you put your pinky on the 10th fret and take the 1st finger and lay it on the 7th fret of the B and G strings and go 7th fret of the B string to the 8th fret of the B string, 10th fret of that B, and back down to the 8th fret of the B right there. And you're ready to rock with the G, Hey Well Amigo, C, G, Days with the Rains Came, D, G, and I've got a full 3-minute lesson on that one. All right, so those are 9 of the most mega famous guitar hits, guitar intros in G major. I'd love to hear how you do in the comments. Tell me which one is your favorite and give me more ideas for videos like this. How about D major next time? All right, hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.